Hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Axe, and happy Friday. You know what that means. It's time for an episode of Team Fortress Friday, the show where every Friday I take a topic suggested by the community or one of my own accord, like today. I pick one, I talk about it, I just give my view on it, my ideas, whatever, advice, and hoping that it resonates a chord with someone or helps someone or makes someone realize something. Or get someone thinking. That's the whole point. Now, I'm not a professional and my advice is not profound, but I just think a lot, and I like to vent that out through videos. And I have to say, if you can kind of tell by the little change of tone in my voice, but I want this to be a good, happy thing. This is the final episode of Team Fortress Friday. It's my final kind of finale deal where it's episode 54, and so being a weekly show, I figured that 54 weeks was a good run. You know, being a full year, I felt that that was a good time, and the show has become something that has, really been one of my bases on my channel, all the stuff, but it's just become different. As time goes on, things change, and that's just how it is. People change, shows change, your feelings change, and all good things eventually come to an end, just as all bad things do, but you get my idea. So yeah, this will be the final episode, and I just wanted to do a brief little explanation of what's going on, because I talked about it in my update video, but today I'll explain more now. The show Team Fortress Friday will be ending. The idea of me, taking a topic every week and doing that and giving my feedback, but I still plan on doing commentaries, and maybe possibly I will give advice sometimes. That's not what I'm against. The thing is just that when I first started, I had a lot I wanted to talk about, a lot I wanted to get out, and there was a lot of stuff available for my mind to just to vent on. And though I still have changing views on said topics, it's not enough to make a whole new commentary of like, hey, so I have this one new thought about this, and so I had a lot to get out, and it's less of that I've run out of topics, but just more of that I have topics I want to talk about, but the show is about what you guys suggest, what you all want to talk about, and it's difficult sometimes for me to do that when I have no experience in the subject. Those are the ones I avoid. I try to go with the most thumbs up one, but I felt bad a while back. People talked about substance abuse, and I'm like, I've never experienced that. I don't have a family member who's gone through that, and so who am I to start trying to give advice on something I have no knowledge in? And that's where I felt that the longer I did that, the more disingenuous it became. So I wanted to keep doing stuff that I felt and was passionate about and had a good view on, but was what I wanted to talk about. So if you're gonna say like, oh man, I really liked what you said, I liked some of the words or your advice, because I've had people message that, don't worry, that will still happen in commentaries and other things that I still plan on doing in freelance. But as far as a structured weekly show, no more. It's just been difficult, but I am so proud of where this series has been. I'm incredibly just I don't know. I'm incredibly honored to have had the success it's had, and the what it's meant to me has been a big portion of this show. And I'm very happy that I got my 1-year YouTube series and coming after you, Hollywood. But no, it was a great time. I loved it, and it's still gonna be here, just in a different form. So don't be too sad, But I understand it. It's a nostalgic thing. So I should probably hop to the topic at this point, and that is just overall, good things come to an end. Time changes things. Time changes a lot of things. In a physical way, look at the gameplay here. New update, but look, little new character HUD that wasn't there last year. My first Team Fortress Friday, my little Liberty launcher got nerfed. Well, I'm not bitter about that at all. No. But, time changes a lot of things, and it changes people and emotions and feelings, and in general, just stuff. We kind of have this view that a lot of things are just going to keep going on. We see shows or things we just kind of assume. We don't think of the end. We don't assume that they're going to be there forever, but we don't think of their mortality, and that goes with people and things and, like I said, shows or whatever. we look at them and it's like, oh, this won't be here forever, but I don't see it ending. And we don't really realize that at one point that will end and that will stop, and all that will come to an end. And I look at just in general this show, perhaps. I know that's a very example, but I thought I was going to do Team Fortress Friday, as long as the channel was around. I knew that at some point I was going to hit kind of a wall with topics, or just in general, like giving advice on stuff I can't really give advice on. And but I assume that. But as time has gone on, it went from like a sad, like, oh my gosh, I have to end the show, to like, you know what? I want it to gracefully end. I think it's better to end something when people say, man, I wish there was more of that, than when they're like, oh my gosh, that's still around. Why is this still here? I think it's better to end something when it is viewed upon as a good thing and in a kind of gracefully gliding end point than a dying star. Not to say that my show is a star, just you get my idea. It's not really a good thing. I don't think it's a good model. I've enjoyed shows where I've wanted more. The Office ended, I've always wanted more. I want to say I think back, Kid Craddock in the Morning is a morning radio show for those. It's popular in America, and it's been on for over 20 years with the host. And recently he had died of a brain aneurysm, and the show is still going on with his co-hosts running it. But I looked and I was like, what? Like, people's were raised on it, and then their kids were raised, that's how long it was on. And then you're listening to all these people, like, you just don't expect it. You don't see it ending, because it's a part of our lives. It's a part of that rut, and we don't generally view the fact of like, well, that could end tomorrow. It's just not something that's really realistically thought of all the time. And so I don't know. People and things change, and it's not a bad thing. That's just how the world works, and that's just how things are. And time fixes and does a lot of things. It's amazing what time can accomplish in years, and in I want to say years, days, decades. Everything is so changing. You're not the same person you were 24 hours ago ever, and you're not the same mindset you were 24 hours ago. And it's just amazing how we're constantly overriding and revising our views, and life is constantly changing around us, yet we view it as such a stable thing. And I don't think that's unhealthy. I think it's just human nature. But yeah, it's a cool thing, especially when you hit kind of this age where a lot changes or things happen, and you just kind of realize you've hit that point of like being kind of born and raised. Like you don't know anything. You never know everything, but you hit a point where you're like, yeah, I feel confident in my growing up, or in my views or whatever, and it's a wonderful thing that's just awesome, and I hope you all get to experience it too. And I know this topic is a bit open and a bit, could go in almost any direction, but I just want to talk about it because, I want to kind of explain what was, and just the fact of, everyone must know that, good things end and bad things end. It's just how life works, because time moves on and we can't slow it down. And, it's not a sad thing. It's kind of a cool thing, because you're always moving, and, enjoy the ride while you're there, instead of looking back and being like, man, I wish I had done this different, or man, I wish this was still, don't regret it. Enjoy the time you did have with everything, and enjoy the time that was spent. But anyway, that's about all I have to say on that, I guess. I don't want to ramble on too long, and I don't want to end when I'm feeling, I've said a lot of what I want to say, instead of drowning it out until you guys are like, shut up, Axe, oh my gosh, you are so annoying. But, no, I just want to say I'm very proud of the show, I'm very proud of everything, and I want to thank you all for supporting me in this series that has gone on and been a big project of mine. It means the world to me, and you all are just so amazing, and I appreciate it. So, thank you all so very much for coming here and supporting me every week and doing that. And thank you for providing me with that confidence that I kind of didn't have for a bit. You know, when I look back at the first Team Fortress Friday, and I'm just boring, I'm monotone. I'm like, oh man, and now I look at them like, man, I'm better. You know, I like it, and it was very growing. It expresses my growth, and so that's about it. So, anyways, guys, don't leave a topic below, but I don't know, just thank you. You know, thank you very much. And I'll see you in more videos, and I'll see you in commentaries, and I will still see you in this manner. But, yeah. Thank you very much, and this show wouldn't have done it as good as it did without you all, obviously, because you guys make everything I do. You know, you guys watch the shows, you guys do it, it's all you. You know, I just put it out. So, anyways, for the final time, have a great Friday, everyone, and hope you enjoyed this episode of Team Fortress Friday, and I'll see you all later, and have a great day. You'll see. Anyways, this week's TFF shoutout goes to Josh Bark, who says, Dear Axe, can you please talk about fighting/divorce? We're going through some rough times in our household, and the first thing I want to say is I understand.